know if I'm in focus or not, so I'm just gonna have to assume that I am. I'm probably not. Hereditary is a damn good movie. I was so excited for this film, mainly because it was being put out by A24. A24, I don't think, has ever put out a movie that I haven't liked. So I was so excited to go see a horror film by them.
Hi, I'm editing this video now and I sound like a babbling idiot. I keep saying the same words over and over again. I keep saying amazing and wow and good and really well done, and I just want to apologize. I haven't filmed a video in a really long time, and to be fair, I was filming this video with no notes or like nothing in preparation. I just saw the movie and then recorded something, so I am so sorry that I sound like a first grader with terrible vocabulary. Take a shot every time I say amazing. I guarantee you'll die. Yeah, also I have these like yellow marks on my face. I promise I don't have an abusive boyfriend that's beating me in, or I don't have a bad home life. I just got my wisdom teeth out and my face is fucked, so. I thought the marketing for this film was really good and really well done. The trailers and everything were really well done and really piqued the interest. Whenever I would get a Hereditary trailer like on YouTube, I wouldn't skip it. I'd watch it. That's how much I enjoyed it. And this movie is everywhere. For it being an indie film, I do see trailers for it. I do see marketing. I do see things for it pretty much everywhere. So I think the marketing and the advertising done with this film was really well done, and whoever is in charge of that, good on you. I've always been a fan of horror films. Horror films is what really got me into like filmmaking. Some of my earlier shit was horror. So to see a horror film that looked so unique and intriguing was really exciting for me, and I was really excited to see it. Most of the horror movies that I've seen recently have not been good or even decent or acceptable in any way. I don't have any notes or anything. I haven't written out anything and don't know what the fuck I'm gonna talk about. I'm just talking out of my ass right now, which could be good or bad, so we're just gonna roll with it. I am going to be spoiling the film, so if you don't like spoilers, don't watch this video, or go watch Hereditary and come back and watch this video, give me my views.
You okay, Mom? What?
The main thing about this film that I was really taken aback by and like actually just amazed by was the cinematography. The opening shot in this film was amazing. Like, there's no other word for me to use for it. The way it just pans around the room with all the miniatures, and then it zooms into the dollhouse, and then it's the kids' bed. Like, it's so good. I can't think of one shot that I really honestly had a problem with. They all fit the film, and I don't really know where I'm going with this. I also really enjoyed the scene where Peter is trying to drive his sister away from the party to save her from her allergic reaction. I thought that scene was really well shot too. Oh shit.
She's completely manipulative until my husband finally enforced a no contact rule.
The plot. I really loved the plot and the writing and everything. Just the complete story of this film. There were parts of it that were slow. The second act, a little slow. I was a little disinterested in the second act. For a good 30 minutes, I really just didn't care. Everything that happens in this film has to happen. There isn't one thing inserted into the plot simply for filler. Everything has a purpose. If one scene out of the film, any scene, was just taken out, even the most simplistic of scenes, the film wouldn't work. Even though I thought some parts of the plot were slow and some, they weren't as exciting, they were completely necessary. And that it's not necessarily a bad thing that it was slow. I don't really, can't be intriguing all the time, but the writing for the most part was really well done. When you first go in to see this film, you don't really know where it's going. You don't know where the plot's going. The trailers are very vague, and they're vague on purpose, obviously, to get your attention, but you really have no preconceived notion of what's going on when you're going to see this film. And I think one of the biggest things is that I thought that the little girl Charlie was going to be a lot bigger component in this film than she really was. And she is a big part of this film. Obviously, if Charlie hadn't have died, then literally none of the shit in the third act or even the second act would have happened. But I thought Charlie, you know, it would center around Charlie with her being alive. I thought, you know, the son would just kind of be like a side character, and it's so not that. This film does a really good job of taking you by surprise, and you have no idea what the fuck's gonna happen, which is so exciting to see in a film. So to see a film that I genuinely did not know what the fuck was happening half the time, and I didn't know where it was going, and I had no idea and no expectations, it was just so fun. I went to a 9:40 showing, and we came out at midnight, and I remember checking my phone. I was like, how is it midnight? Like, I thought we would have gotten out at like 11. Like, I didn't check my phone once. I didn't check the time once, and for me, that's like a really good thing. Not to say that I'm sitting over there checking my phone during movies and like checking the time and like watching movies is so tiring, but it's not that. Like, I never once wanted to get uninvested from the story to check the time or go to the bathroom or do anything. It completely swallows you in and invests you in the whole thing, and it's special.
Who's gonna take care of me?
You don't think I'm gonna take care of you?
But when you die...
The music in this film was really good. Horror films always have the worst soundtracks. They all sound like they're just tracks from Kid in the Cloud. They don't sound good. So for the soundtrack in this film to be really good was just an extra. The music's good. I like the music. If you care about music in films, this is a good movie. I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's 3 a.m. I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm trying to think of negatives that I have with the film because I'm a huge, big cynic, and I'm such a negative film critic. I always just nitpick shit, and I love to talk about the negative before I talk about anything about the positive in films. But I'm really having a hard time thinking about the negatives or the problems that I have with this film. But that's how much I really like this film. I really honestly am having a hard time thinking of negatives.
Strange new faces here today. I know my mom would be very touched.
I think a negative that I have with this film is really the ending. The very ending shot where it's Alex Wolff's character and it's like just his face, and in the back you hear like Joan saying that he's one of the kings of hell or whatever. I wasn't the biggest fan of that. I wasn't a fan of Joan's voice in the background and it not cutting away. And I honestly wasn't a really big fan of Alex Wolff's performance in this film. I don't think he was very, like, I don't know. He did have some scenes where he did really good. The scenes where he was, like, in school and freaking the fuck out. Like that was good. Toni Collette, who plays Annie, the mother, I honestly, if she doesn't get nominated for anything for her role, I'm going to be pissed because I think she gave one of the best performances of the year so far. She did amazing, and you're going to hear that from every critic. Everybody says that she's amazing, but she was amazing in this film, and I'm not going to deny it that she was really good. The ending where Annie's like, she severs her head off of her body and then she floats up into the treehouse. I thought that shit was hilarious. I didn't like it. Like, I just didn't like it. I thought it was comical. And it was just straight up ridiculous. But in the same way, I have to admire the ridiculousness of the ending. With, like, the dead, severed head bodies kneeling to the king of hell. Like, that, I don't know. It was just funny to me. I didn't really like it. But at the same time, I did like the ending. But I don't really know. The ending could have been better, but at the same time, I don't really have, like, a inherent problem with it. I don't fucking know. It could have been better. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I have my computer laptop pulled up right here next to me, and I'm looking at some of the tweets, and one tweet on Twitter says that Hereditary was genuinely terrifying. I wouldn't say that at all. I wouldn't say that this film was horrifying or terrifying. If you're looking for a film to terrify you with, like jump scares, like you're all scared, this I wouldn't say is a movie for you. It's an incredibly entertaining movie, and it's definitely incredibly disturbing, but I wouldn't classify it as genuinely terrifying. I wasn't necessarily scared throughout it. It was disturbing, it was thrilling, but it's definitely doesn't have many of the genre tropes of a horror film. It's not like Insidious, which that last Insidious movie was so bad. It's really its own entity. I can't really describe what it is. It's not a psychological thriller, but it's not necessarily a horror film. It's just its own thing. But it does a really good job of being its own thing. And I admire it. So overall, I'd give this film probably an 8.5 or a 9. I recommend everybody seeing it, and I will definitely be seeing it again. Hereditary is a good ass movie. In conclusion. This review was really bad and really poorly shot, but it's 3 a.m. and this is my first review that I've ever done, like, with my face, and this is the first review I've done in months, so I'm a little rusty. So sorry to my 20 subscribers. Yeah.